Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to MCScots.com. I'm Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel, bringing you tonight's ball game here at Maryville College, Voisin Bear Gymnasium and Randy Lambert Court, as your Maryville College Scots host the Hawks of Huntingdon College. Scott, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Scots tonight. They come into tonight's ball game at 0-4, looking to bounce back and get in the winning column for the first time this season, but they face a very tough opponent in Huntingdon College.
Yes, Heath, they do. And Huntingdon College coming in at 4-1. All their games have been played on neutral sites so far this year for them, playing Florida College, Trinity, Pensacola, and Swanee. Pensacola Christian being their only loss so far, also taking on Bob Jones tonight. Swanee College, a private school out of Montgomery, Alabama, established in 1854. Currently coached this year, Heath, by interim coach Paige Huff. She was a fifth-year assistant coach under Buzz Phillips, who has been with Huntingdon about 25 years, coaching 20, or not so much coaching, but being involved in athletics with colleges for 28. He spent 3 years at Troy University as director of operations for football, basketball, and baseball before returning back to Huntingdon. Coach Huff, a 2008 graduate of Huntingdon, played under Coach Phillips as well, has apparently done a really good job with her ladies so far this year, averaging about 66 points per game, just shy of 40% on field goals, 30% of their three-pointers. Need a little help there on the free throws, 56% there, in getting just about 40 rebounds per game, 15 assists per game. A very tough team to play, Heath.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly a tough test for the Scots, who, again, open up the season 0-4, losing to begin the year against Emory and Henry, then to Swanee, then Thomas More, and then Dominican. But looking to get in the win column tonight, as this will be their first conference matchup of the season. Another reason they've had a slow start is two of their first 4 games were against top 25 opponents, so that was tough for them as well, Scott. But looking to get back in the winning column tonight, we'll see if they can do it. But yeah, as you mentioned, Huntingdon 39 rebounds, almost 40 rebounds per game. Maryville sitting at around 30. Hoping to improve upon that, but certainly they're in good hands, as they've got a tremendous coach and Coach Darren Trevelyan. Trevelyan, actually the winningest coach at Maryville College women's basketball history with 180 wins, and he was the fastest coach in school history to 100 career victories in 2015. So looking to get on the winning track. We hope they do, and we will certainly keep you posted on that throughout tonight's ball game. We're getting ready for the national anthem and for the starting lineups. Before that, we'd just like to remind you that your pregame show was brought to you by Blunt Partnership. Their members help provide opportunities for small business, corporate locations, manufacturing, technology, commercialization, leisure travel, and corporate retreats. Their goal is to ensure our community continues to enjoy a robust economy and opportunities to live an unrivaled quality of life. So again, we thank you so much for them and all of our sponsors for making this outstanding NCAA Division III athletic department possible. So not only Blunt Partnership, GoTees.com, Cookout, LeConte Wealth Management, Campbell Party Rentals, Kinjo Markets, Airport Hilton, and Firehouse Subs. Thanks for listening to the pregame show. Again, national anthem and starting lineups coming up next, and then your ball games. We'll be back in just a moment. welcome back. MCScots.com getting ready to kick things off here at Maryville College as both players are on the court and getting their final words from their coaches. Your starting lineups for tonight's game. For Huntingdon, number 3, T.I. Duncan, a senior guard. Number 11, India Lawrence, a sophomore guard. Number 22, Maya Hudson, a senior guard. Number 23, Alex Lowry, a senior guard. And number 33, Shionica Thomas, a junior forward. For the Scots, number 3, a junior guard, Libby Gardner. Number 13, a sophomore guard, Claire Varney. Sophomore guard, number 24, Elsa Eckenron. Sophomore guard, number 30, Aaron Beasley. And junior post, number 42, Kelly Wandell. And now we get things going as Huntingdon will begin with the basketball. Lawrence with the ball, gets it out to the three-point line. Heavily guarded, good defense to start for Maryville as Lawrence back with the basketball. Now she gets it into T.I. Duncan, who drives the lane. Good job, great defense to start off with by the Scots, who get the steal. Now Varney gets it over to Gardner. Now out to Eckenrod. Eckenrod gets it back up to the top of the key. As Beasley has the basketball. She'll go back over to the left, swing it back up top. Try to get it down low to Wandell. Good job from Wandell, and she'll hand it off, but missed. Wandell back with the rebound. She'll kick it for 3. No good. It looks like it'll be a foul, Scott, on Huntingdon.
Yes, Heath, that was T.I. Duncan on that one. That would probably be a good thing for Maryville. Get her off the floor as soon as possible.
So first foul for Duncan, first foul for the team as Maryville will inbound.
The foul is on Huntingdon, number 3.
Get it to Eckenrod. It looks like they've got another foul already quickly to begin this ball game.
Right, Heath. India Lawrence looked like she held as Eckenrod tried to drive the lane. She grabbed hold of her.
So Maryville looks to inbound again, and they are unable to get it in time as 5 seconds expire, and they will turn over the ball to Huntingdon.
Good defense. Both teams coming out with a man-to-man pressing really hard. So,
yeah, nice press here as Huntingdon does get across the court. Oh, unable to hold on to the basketball though, and Libby Gardner gets it for the Scots. She's going to drive, go up, lay up, good.
Yes, good layup there. Good forward management all the way up the lane, and didn't get distracted as Duncan came up on her.
So Lawrence with the ball, trying to get the team set. She's trying to get it to her post, who takes it right around Wandell with ease. That's number 22, Maya Hudson, with her first basket of the game. They're going to get it down low to Wandell.
And Heath, that's going to be the second foul, number 11, India Lawrence.
It's going to be a long night, Scott, for Lawrence if they're able to get that matchup all night because Wandell has the advantage. Wandell now at the line shooting 2. First free throw is good. So, Scott, we talked early on before the game about some of the statistics for both teams. This is an area that Maryville does excel at between the two schools. As Huntingdon only 56% from the free throw line. Maryville at 75, and they start tonight 2 for 2.
Yes. Good start from Maryville College right there, and showing a little bit of fight tonight. So, you know, they gotten a little bit of the nerves out from those 4 games they played earlier.
Now Huntingdon will drive, and it looks like they're going to be able to pick up a foul as well. And that appears to be on number 30 of the Scots. That is Erin Beasley, her first, the team first. And that will send T.I. Duncan to the line. First free throw up and good for Duncan. Second free throw good as well. Now Maryville with the basketball. Gardner at the top. She'll get it over, but it's stolen. And a fast break opportunity. Up with the basket and a layup and good for Huntingdon. And now Huntingdon takes their first lead of the ball game.
Right, Heath, that was from Alex Lowry. Good steal. Maryville tried to disrupt her a little bit. She kept her concentration, an easy basket.
At the top of the key is Eckenrod with the ball. She's trying to get it down low to Wandell. Wandell kicks it back out to Gardner. Gardner with the pump fake, and she'll drive, kick it. Here comes Varney. Varney up, and good. Nice shot by Varney. And Scott, this is something that a few games ago when we had an opportunity to call the first game of the season, that Maryville started off really well. Looks like they, you know, the biggest thing is just can you continue it, and that is the stifling full court press defense. They're doing it so far tonight and doing a great job of just causing havoc for the Hawks. Gardner with the top, the key. She's going to get it over to the left. They're going to try to get it down to Wandell, but stolen by the Hawks. And a nice pass by Mia Hudson.
Right, and that was scored by Shanika Thomas, who actually started the play by getting her fingertips on the ball, interrupting the pass, and then being able to get down the court.
So now Eckenrod will get it up top to Varney. Hawks with a 2-point lead. It's 8-6 with 6:50 remaining in the first. Three-point shot up and good. So Hawks with the lead no longer as Maryville leads by 1.
And a great shot by Eckenrod right there, Heath. Got free on the side and just threw it right up.
A little bit of a wild play there, but India Lawrence is going to be able to pick up the foul on her shot, and she will go to the line for 2.
Right, and the foul was on Eckenrod there, Heath. That is her first of the quarter.
First free throw up and good. Second free throw good, and the Hawks take back the lead. It's 10-9, 6:35 remaining in the first. Gardner gets it down court, and this defense for the Hawks is impressive as well. As it is stolen, they're going to get it out to Duncan. Duncan at the top of the key now to Hudson, who will drive. And looks like Maryville able to pick up the charge.
Right, Heath. It looked like number 42, Kelly Waddell, was able to get the foul off of Mia Hudson, who was trying to drive in and just a little bit out of control. Ooh.
So Garner with the ball, and Beasley took a shot there. Looks like they did not see that. So play will continue as Varney drives. She loses the handle, but they're going to say a reach around on Hudson.
The foul is on Huntingdon, number 20.
Yeah, Heath, and Varney, and it looked like Alex Lowry collided heads a little bit, but it looked like Lowry took a harder shot.
So 5th team foul for the Hawks, and at the line will be Varney. First free throw up and good for Varney, and now some substitutions for both teams. For the Scots, number 23, Brooke McCurdy, and number 45, Shelby Hicks.
And Varney, Heath, is a 63% free throw shooter, as Hannah Parks also comes into the game.
Second free throw up and no good. Hawks with the rebound. Maryville's able to recover, and now Varney will take it down the court. She sees nothing. She's going to have to get it back out up top to McCurdy. Now over to Gardner for 3, and bottom.
Beautiful shot. There's a nice rainbow.
Yeah, nice arc there from Gardner as Duncan goes down the court, Scott, and tries to drive with the layup, and looks like Gardner will pick up the charge off Duncan.
That's what we're looking at, waiting to see what the referees are going to call, because the one did underneath called the charge.
Yeah, it looks like from what the Hawks coach is saying, she believes that Gardner was in the circle, therefore making it, looks like, I guess, that would not be a charge call. So then it is going to be overturned. They're going to call that a block. And so now that will be a foul on the Scots, and we'll send Duncan to the line.
Right, and that will actually be Varney's second foul of the game.
And it actually looks like, yeah, I think they're going to actually call that on Eckenrod. And now we have some more substitutions coming into the ball game, as now in the game it looks like getting ready to enter in just a moment will be number 22, Catherine Upshaw.
Right, and correct on that, that was Eckenrod. So
First
far,
free throw up and good.
For about a 56% or 53% free throw shooting team. And T.I. Duncan is about a 53% shooter. So far, they're doing pretty well. And it looks like a lane violation, Heath, so they took away the second bucket there.
Scott, I don't know if you know this or not, but when they do that, does that count as just 1 for 1 at the free throw line or 1 for 2?
Well, since she was shooting her second, it waves off the basket and Maryville's box.
Okay. Well, Gardner now drives. She goes up, gets the and one as she makes the basket, and she'll go to the line. And Scott, India Lawrence is picking up fouls left and right. She may be on the bench the remaining of the first half.
Well, it looks like they're going to take her right now, bring in Destiny Washington to take her place. But, yeah, that's a third foul on Lawrence just in this first quarter, or first half.
So, again, heavy defense from the Scots, making things difficult for Huntingdon, but they do get cross half court and open for three, and good is number 23, Alex Lowry. Now Gardner with the basketball. She'll get it up top to Varney. Now they'll get it to Upshaw, who goes up with a shot, no good. Rebounded by the Hawks. And another three-pointer from Lowry, misses. And Varney with the rebound. She'll get it over to Gardner. Upshaw with the shot. No good, rebounded. Now Varney looks and she's going to hand it off to Upshaw. Upshaw to Gardner. Gardner around a pick. She kicks it back out to Varney. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Varney's going to have to drive. She gets to Hicks. Hicks with a nice shot. Misses. Rebound by Huntingdon. Looks like that's probably going to be an over the back on Hicks. So that will be on Shelby Hicks. That is her first, team fourth, and now some heavy substitutions coming in for the Scots as number 11, Holland Geralds enters the game. Number 14, Charity Crabtree in as well. As they get some of their starters some rest, it looks like Aaron Beasley back in. So giving their starters some rest, letting the bench do some work here with 4 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Maryville leads by 2. Huntingdon with the shot, no good. Rebounded by the Scots. As Crabtree crosses court and had an opportunity to drive it, but she, at the top of the key, Scott kind of stops and freezes and tries to look for someone to pass to. Probably would have been better off continuing through the lane and seeing what she could get.
Right, Heath, and not really sure why she pulled back if she saw something we couldn't see, but it looked like a clear lane from this angle. Yeah,
you have to wonder if that's a little bit of nerves. Freshman, still just kind of getting her feet wet, trying to get comfortable, but, definitely need to be a little bit more aggressive there as a nice spin move in the basket, good by Aaron Beasley.
Beautiful move right there. Got the opponent on her left hip, kind of moved her a little bit more to the left and just spun around her.
And Lowry not afraid to shoot the three ball as he shoots it there, and it is good. So now the lead trimmed to 1. 18-17 Scots lead. As McCurdy gets it over to Upshaw, now back up to Crabtree. Over to Beasley. She's going to kick it down low to Upshaw, who will kick it out. Three-pointer up, and the answer.
Beautiful
nice shot.
Beautiful
nice shot by Brooke McCurdy. And that's how you answer a three-pointer, Scott.
Well, we'll say this, Hitch, from the last game at home, when we played Emory and Henry, the ladies are shooting much better from the three-point arc.
And how about that block there as Lowry drives lane, goes up, and coming from behind, Upshaw with a very nice block, knocks it out of bounds. And so now the Hawks to inbound, and they'll get it in quickly. Kick it back up top to T.I. Duncan. Duncan tries to get around a pick, but good defense on the switches. They're ready for it. Guarding Lowry, Duncan now with the ball. She'll shoot a three. No good. A nice battle, but Maryville just unable to hold on to the rebound. It'll go out of bounds. And now the Hawks with the basketball as number 15, Destiny Washington, to inbound. They're going to get it inside to their post player and kick it back out. Duncan goes around, tries to go up, and then looks to pass at the last minute. Luckily for the Hawks, they hold on to the basketball as Lowry guarded heavily at the top of the key, and that'd be a smart thing. If she can shoot the three, she does right there. Misses, rebounded by Huntingdon. Didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock is now at 5, and Maryville with the steal, but they're going to say that it's a foul.
Right, Heath, and Charity Crabtree on that one grabbed hold of the offender as she was trying to drive, and I know Coach Trevelyan wasn't real happy about that. They had the shot clock down quite a bit.
Yeah, you hate to see that with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. As now substitutions back in the game. Looks like they're bringing some of the starters back as Wandale, Varney, and Gardner back into the basketball game.
And Duncan missed her first shot, so I'm giving him a second one right here.
Second up, second is good. So now Crabtree to inbound, and Gardner now with the ball. Wandale trying to get around the defender and inside the post, but having some trouble with it. So now she'll help with the pick for Varney, who will kick it out. Now over to Gardner. Gardner for 3. It's going to be off and rebounded by Huntingdon.
Yeah, wide open shot, just a little too much under that one.
It looks like Varney, who drives the lane and throws up a floater, is going to be able to pick up a foul on the Scots, and that's going to be on 14 Crabtree. I believe that's her second.
Yes, it is.
So Lowry at the line, first basket good. Now coming in for the Scots back in the ball game is number 23, Brooke McCurdy, as Crabtree will go to the bench.
Heath, also number 10 is entering in. That's Kachura playing for, looks like Lawrence, Shanika Thomas, actually.
Second free throw up and good. As now Lowry will exit the game. Looks like 14 for Huntingdon now comes in the ball game. That is Peyton Kaiser. So Gardner will take it across half court. She'll hand off to Varney. Varney with an open lane. Basket up and good.
Wide open shot right there. Easy one to make. Of course, we all know that nerves can still get you there, too.
Yeah, nice handoff from Gardner and an even better drive from Varney. So now the Scots lead by 3. We've got a minute 25 remaining here in the first quarter and a half-court violation.
Right, just a really bad pass on that one there. Number 1 is Abia Bernard coming in, taking the place of Peyton Kaiser.
So now Gardner with the ball, and she'll cross half court. She tries the handoff again with Varney. Varney will drive. Varney looks like she walked there, took just one too many steps. They will call it, and now Huntingdon with the basketball.
Right, it looked like she was thinking of shooting the layup on that one and then had second thoughts, but at that point, it was a little late.
Yeah, a little late to stop her momentum there. So now Bernard with the basketball. She's going to get it over to number 10, Katura Billen. Billen over to Kaiser. Now Kaiser heading off on the side of the key, back to Kaiser. And now they're going to call a foul, I believe, Scott, on number 10.
Right, Katura Billen. She was trying to set a pick, looked like she pushed off a little bit. Referee caught her, said no, can't do that, called the foul on her.
All right, so the Scots with the basketball, under a minute left to play here in the first. They try to get it down low to Varney. Varney up, no good. Rebounded by Huntingdon, but it looks like Beasley tries to reach in and steal the basketball, and she's going to pick up a foul.
The foul is on Maryville, number 30, Erin Beasley, her second.
So it'll be Beasley second, and that will send the Hawks to the line.
At the line, number 10, Katie Billen.
First free throw up and good for Billen.
And Heath Billen is a junior guard, 5'8", out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Went to the Chattanooga School for the Arts and Sciences.
So far, 1-1 from the line here. Now looking for her second. She'll go up, she'll miss it. And rebounded by Wandale. Entering the game a moment ago for Maryville was number 45, the sophomore forward, Shelby Hicks, now in the ball game. Hicks gets the ball on the side of the key. Now Hicks is one who, even though she's a post player, she's got some good range. She can shoot the 3 ball. We've seen that before. We'll see if they try to utilize that. So now 26 left on the clock. Only 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Looks like they're trying to get Varney a shot here. As Varney will cross over to the defender, she'll go up with the layup. She'll pick up the foul.
Right, Hathan. It looks like they're going to call it on number 1, Abiba Bernard.
So now Varney at the line. Will be Bernard's first foul of the game as the first free throw up and in for Varney. Second free throw up and good. 25-21, Maryville leads with 18 seconds remaining in the first. So now Huntingdon looking to see if they can take one last shot here in the first quarter. They're going to get it down low. Owen quickly score as they get it down low to number 13, Hannah Parks with the basket. 2-point game, 5 seconds remain in the first. Libby hands it off. Shot up for McCurdy. Just misses the three. Not bad range there, just barely missed the rim, Scott, as we end the first quarter.
Yes, Hathan, it looked like the aim was there, just the distance was missing a little bit.
Yeah, so your score at the end of 1, Maryville 25, Huntingdon 23. Huntingdon again came into this ball game 4-1, Maryville 0-4, but the Scots start off hot and play really good basketball through the first quarter.
Yes, it was, and definitely a lot better game than what we saw from the first game. Again, it looks like getting in there and getting to play some top 25 teams and really getting the first game jitters out of the way, basically, I think is what we saw against Emory and Henry. They are really starting to show a good fight, starting to work together. Some still a little anxious sometimes on the close-in shots, but doing a really good job.
Absolutely. Hopefully that'll only continue to get better as this game in the season goes along. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back to bring you the second quarter. All right, so second quarter action begins here on MCScots.com as Maryville hosts the Hawks of Huntingdon College. They're going to get the ball down low to Hicks. Hicks has trouble holding on to the basketball, but they're going to say that a reach-in foul by number 10 of the Hawks, and Maryville will still have the ball.
Right, Heath Katura Billing again called for it, and I believe that may actually be her third.
So they inbound the ball, and Upshaw gets it up top to Gardner. Gardner calls the play and gets the team set. Loses the basketball. Good defense from Huntingdon. And Billings will get it out to the outside. And now pump fake and dribble and drive. Shot no good. Billings now with the rebound, but Wandale's able to get it back. And it looks like Wandale and Billings battle for it as the ref will call a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Hawks.
Right, Hathan. Coming in for Billing is number 20, Alexis Osteen.
Yeah, Osteen, another Tennessee product, Scott, a junior guard at 5'7", from Dresden, Tennessee. All right, so they were just confirming some things here in regards to the shot clock. So shot clock will be at 30 seconds. Hawks to inbound. They will be able to get the inbound. The shot is up. No good. And Varney almost loses it on the rebound, but she's able to maintain it, hand it off, and now they get it to Gardner. Gardner drives. Almost loses it, gets it. Wandale gets it. She gets it to Varney. Varney kicks it out to Gardner. Gardner with the spin move up and draws the foul. And it looks like that foul is going to be on 15.
And that is Destiny Washington.
The foul is on Huntingdon, number 15, Destiny Washington, her first.
And that will be her first hit, but it's a shooting foul, so Gardner gets to go to the line.
Yeah, her first, team second of the second quarter, and Gardner at the line shooting 2, and she makes the first. Second shot up and good. Scots doing well so far from the charity strike, as now for three is Huntington's number 1, Bernard. She misses. Now Varney gets the rebound. She'll take it down the court quickly. She'll try to get it down low, but threw it into some traffic, and the Hawks recover. So now Washington gets down the court quickly and uses her speed to get by the defenders, goes up with a layup, and it's good.
Maryville very slow on getting back on that, Heath, and just allowed her an open lane, so she took it.
Yeah, did not see Washington coming, and Washington uses her speed to her advantage. So Hawks down by 2. Wandale with the ball. She'll get it down low to Varney. Varney tries to back down her defender, goes up with a shot, no good, rebounded by Huntingdon.
It looked like Varney was hoping to try to draw a foul. Referees didn't think so and just kind of shot it short there.
So three-pointer for the Hawks, and that three-pointer is good by number 13, Hannah Parks. And Scott, with that basket, the Hawks now retake the lead. So 28-27, Huntington leads with 7:55 remaining in the second quarter. They try to get it over to Hicks, and reaching in to knock the ball away is number 20, Alexis Osteen. Nice defense there. Maryville will remain with the basketball as Wandale goes to the bench.
And Heath, Brooks McCurdy has entered the game. She replaces Waddell.
McCurdy 1 of 3 from the three-point line tonight. That's her only points of the ball game. Varney with the basketball for the Scots. They'll get it up top to Gardner as shot clock running down. She'll go up and miss the shot, and Huntington quickly gets it and takes it down the court. Looked like a kickball, but I don't see anyone calling it. So I couldn't tell who kicked it, but it did look like a kickball.
Right, Heath. I couldn't either. There was about 3 Maryville players there, but during the scramble for the ball, it looks like Varney was called for the foul.
So now the Hawks will inbound as they get it in and get it back up top. Kaiser with the ball. She'll hand it to Washington. Now Washington over to Bernard. Bernard guarded closely by Hicks. They'll get it back over to Kaiser. Kaiser to Washington. Out to Parks. Parks a good three-point shooter. Definitely need to guard her closely. Bernard now with the ball. Running out of time. Looks like she's going to try to get around Hicks. Won't do it. Hand it to Kaiser. Kaiser with the jumper. And good.
Good movement by the Hawks on that play right there, Heath.
Yeah, continuing to try to find a quality shot no matter what the time of the clock is, and they make a nice basket there as now they lead by 3. Upshaw with the ball, and she'll give it back to Gardner at the top. Shelby Hicks down low trying to post up, not having a lot of success there as she'll get back out of the lane. Had an opportunity for a moment there to get her the basketball, but they didn't see it. And looks like the Hawks now get the ball, Scott.
Right, it looks like Catherine Upshaw on that play right there got the ball just a little excited, became more of a receiver than a basketball player, started to run with it. But Holland Geralds has now come in for Upshaw.
So now Huntington with the ball, and another jumper by Kaiser, this time no good. Gardner with the rebound, but Gardner is fouled.
And that's Alexis Osteen Hayes jumping into Gardner. Not a lot Gardner could do, but follow the floor at that time.
So still a three-point game. The Hawks lead with 6:24 remaining in the second. Gardner looking for Hicks, but Hicks is guarded well by Hannah Parks. Gardner still looking around, trying to figure out. She'll get it up top to Varney.
Right, they had a hold on Alexis Osteen. She wrapped her arm around the Maryville player to keep her from being able to move underneath.
All right, and now, Scott, they have a substitution in the game as Osteen goes to the bench. Coming in, T.I. Duncan now re-enters the game.
Right, Heath, and I was listening to the referee there making a correction a minute ago on what they'd called 21 on the foul for Huntington. It actually was 20.
And Scott right there. Maryville gets the inbounds. They get it to Gardner, and she goes up with the jumper, and it's good. So now the lead trimmed to 1. 30-29, Huntingdon leads with 5:58 remaining in the second quarter. And almost able to steal the basketball, but Kaiser recovers. Almost lose the ball again, but T.I. Duncan able to settle down. She'll get it. She'll drive. Reaching in by Varney, and Varney almost has an opportunity for a steal, but they're going to say that she did foul.
Looks like they're going to call that one on Gardner Heath as Maryville was reaching for the ball. Apparently she got more of the player. Good defense, though. Maryville's really stepped it up in this half.
Yeah, Maryville's certainly played tough defense so far this first half and has caused the Hawks some fits as Duncan goes in and she drives and she is rejected by the Scots. And that was, I believe, number 11, Holland Geralds with the nice block there, the 6-foot sophomore center.
Right, and McCurdy came down with that rebound. It looks like Varney here was able to get a quick pass from her, drive to the lane, and get the basket. Or I take that back, get the foul. And Abiba Bernard picks up that foul, Heath, her second.
And 5th on the team, so Varney at the line, shooting 2. She makes the first. And another substitution for Huntingdon.
Right, and that's Cassidy Crawford. Heath, she's a 5'6" guard out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Varney makes the second, and Scott so far through the ball game, Maryville has done a great job drawing fouls on the Hawks and making things difficult for them all night as they've had to take a lot of their star players and really get them out of the ball game because they've been in so much foul trouble early on.
Right, and that's been helpful so far tonight.
Certainly has, as the Scots with those 2 free throws retake the lead 31-30. Gardner goes up, misses. Holland gets a hand on it, but they're going to say it was an over the back as Duncan comes down with the basketball, so the foul will be on number 11, Holland Geralds.
Right, just can't really do that. You got someone in position, you can't really come over the top like that, but I give her credit, it was a good effort.
Yeah, I think she was hoping her height advantage would certainly help with that call. Unfortunately, it did not, so Huntingdon now with the basketball as the freshman drives and
now a good charge right there.
Yeah. Yeah, great charges. Again, you see it there for Huntingdon as number 25, Cassidy Crawford, drives quickly to the lane, kind of has her head down a little bit, doesn't see the great defense set up there and draw the charge.
Right, Heath, and Maryville's done really good at that. They only had that one time that they were underneath the basket too far, but they've been really good this game of being able to catch Huntingdon trying to drive the basketball, catch them on the charge. So.
Absolutely. So they call a timeout. We'll take it with them. 5:02 remaining in the second quarter. Maryville leads 31-30. We'll be right back. Maryville with the basketball, up 1. 4:55 remaining in the second, and they will get it over to Varney with the ball as a high pass from Gardner, and Varney able to come down with it. They'll get it back to Gardner. She'll get it down low to Hicks. Hicks tries to back down her defender, and a nice pass there to Geralds. Geralds just unable to make the layup. So now the Hawks with the basketball. With the ball, number 25, Cassidy Crawford. She's looking for something, doesn't see anything. She's going to have to get rid of the basketball. She does. She gets it over to Kaiser on the left side of the wing. Kaiser sees a hole. Kaiser drives. She'll hand off as Maryville comes with the double team and leaves open number 3, T.I. Duncan.
Right, and a good backside help from Maryville, but no one was there to cover.
Yeah, Maryville tried to help, but with the help left Duncan open, and they just handed it off. She went up with the basket. Varney now goes for the layup. Varney answers. It's good. So 33-32, Maryville leads. 4 minutes remain in the second. Washington with the ball. She'll get it back up top to Crawford.
Sorry, Heath, I was just going to quickly say Varney's got a lot of advantage over Cassidy just in the fact that she's got more speed, can get around her a lot faster.
And there Washington dribbles and drives, and she'll kick it out to Kaiser, who's unable to make the basket, but Huntingdon does eventually, after a scrum, comes down with the rebound. Kaiser resets the team. She gets it over to Parks. Back over to Kaiser. Kaiser guarded closely by McCurdy. Now they get down low to Parks, who misses the shot. Had a great shot opportunity there, just unable to make the basket. Gerald's with the rebound. Ooh. They pass down the court and get a little too excited there as they see an open Hicks under the lane and overthrow her. And so now the Hawks with the basketball.
Good thought, just a little too much height on that ball right there.
Kelly Wandell re-enters the game for Maryville. Has no full court press right now here with 3 minutes remaining in the second. Washington gets cross court. She gets it over to Crawford. Crawford with a pick by T.I. Duncan. She'll go around her. She's guarded heavily by Varney. She'll get it over to Kaiser on the wing. Kaiser, dribble, drive. She'll fake. She'll get it back up top to Parks. Now T.I. Duncan with the ball. Duncan around. She'll go up and good.
And Kaiser actually got away with a walk on that. She came around, lifted her foot up, her pivot foot up, and then threw the ball out. Referee just let it go.
Well, now Maryville with some passes there, and it looked to be good as they try to get it into Wandell, but the Hawks reach in, get the steal. They go down quickly. Duncan up with the basket. Duncan good, and what a nice shot by Duncan. She almost kind of turned around and had to throw that up backwards.
Yeah, very acrobatic, but she is a good player.
Yeah, acrobatic and athletic. They'll get it out to Hicks now for Maryville. Hicks gets it up top to Gardner. Gardner drives. She'll go up with the shot and was hoping for the foul there. She's not going to get it. And Huntingdon is doing a great job, Scott, of when they get the rebound, they're getting down the court quickly and causing this defense a lot of trouble as Duncan goes up with the shot, and she's going to get the foul.
Right, Heath. And right now, Huntingdon knows that Maryville's got their slower players in right now, especially in the post, and they're just driving through. T.I.'s averaging 13 points a game as it is, so she's definitely working on that right now.
She is, as Huntingdon with a 5-point lead with 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. You're listening to MCScots.com. We'll be right back. T.I. Duncan with the free throw up and good. And now Maryville to inbound as they'll get the ball to Gardner, and she'll cross half court. They'll get it inside to Upshaw. She'll kick it back out to Varney. Varney now with the three-pointer, no good. And looks like it went off the hands of Maryville last as it goes out of bounds, and Huntingdon will get the basketball. Washington to inbound. 1:49 remaining in the second quarter. 39-33 Hawks lead, a game that for most of the ball game has been led by the Scots. Huntingdon starting to get hot and get some things going. They've got a 6-point lead. They'll get it down low to Hannah Parks. Parks has trouble holding on to the basketball. It looked like she lost it out of bounds, but they're going to say it went off the hand of Maryville. So Huntingdon to inbound. Crawford gets it in. Now T.I. Duncan with the ball at the top. She kicks it over to Kaiser. Kaiser, a deep shot there if she wants it. She's going to drive. She'll kick it to Washington. Moving the basketball very well as they get it to an open Duncan. She will miss the three. And Maryville not paying attention there on the rebound, and coming in and making the steal is Parks. Crawford now with the ball. Over to Washington. And you can tell the momentum has swung completely over to Huntingdon right now. Kaiser with the ball on the left side of the key. She'll get it up top to Parks. 9 seconds in the shot clock. They'll give it over to Washington. Get it down to Kaiser. Look for Kaiser to think about a jumper. No, she'll get it to Washington. Washington thinks about a three. It's not going to happen. Varney with the ball. She comes down with the rebound. She gets it to Gardner. Gardner driving and no good. Wandell had a chance with the rebound, but Parks does a great job of corralling it. She'll get it over to Duncan, who crosses court. And here comes that fast speed of the Hawks as Duncan goes up with the basket. Looks like a clean block, but they're going to say a foul.
Right, Heath. And looks like they're going to call 42 on that. Kelly Waddell on the reach as T.I. Duncan was going out. But Duncan, again, very quick player.
Yeah, Huntington looking for those opportunities to use that speed and get to the lane as Duncan goes up, and the first free throw is no good. 37 seconds remain here in the second quarter. Still a 6-point lead. Next free throw up, now a 7-point lead for the Hawks. Hicks to inbound. She'll get it to Gardner. So Maryville with an opportunity to cut into that lead before the end of the first half. Gardner guarded by Washington. Washington trying to get the steal. Gardner having to be really careful with that basketball. Washington was able to pick up a steal on Gardner earlier today. Gardner running out of time. She tries to get it over to Hicks, and reaching in to knock the ball away is T.I. Duncan, and it looks like she also picked up the foul.
Right, she did, Heath. And that is actually her second foul. So she's actually done pretty good so far tonight because she picked up one very early in the first quarter and since then.
So Hicks with the first free throw, and first free throw is good. And now a new player coming in for the Hawks.
And Heath, that is number 40, Rye Weststone. She is a freshman, 5'9", out of Rockford, Alabama.
10 seconds remain as they miss the free throw, and Huntington with the ball. Three-pointer by Kaiser up. No good. Rebounded by Maryville. 2 seconds. 1 second. Gardner shoots the three ball. No good. So a great effort there by Gardner trying to get it cross court and get up a shot. Just unable to make the basket. And your score at the end of the first half of play, Scott, Huntington 40, Maryville 34.
Yes, Heath, a good game so far for Maryville. They're still in it. They've had a couple of stretches where they just had a little bit of a lax defense, and Huntington's taken advantage of that, but only 6 points down, not bad.
Yeah, so far, a game that started off, Scott, in Maryville's favor, and then Huntington started to get a little bit of momentum. This is this is a pretty emotional game for Huntington, as again, we told you early on in the pregame show and mentioned it again, our hearts and our thoughts and prayers with this Huntington community as they lost their senior guard on their team earlier today, Scott, as I'm trying to pull back up the roster for them and have that available to us. But they lost one of their players earlier today, just kind of in a very sudden, tragic thing that happened. It was senior guard Kedra Curtis. She had actually suffered a knee injury earlier in the season, and things were going good, but she wasn't feeling well today or as they were making the trip here, and unfortunately a little bit later on passed away. Still haven't figured out what caused that, but obviously that affects the community, not just the team, but the college. It affects all the families, that know her and all of her friends, and so our thoughts and prayers with them. But number one, extremely tough to be able to come after something like that happens and play a basketball game. But you've got to imagine there's a lot of emotions going into this game tonight, and that they're wanting to try to come away with a win in her honor.
Right, Heath, I think so. And again, want to give thoughts and prayers for the family of Miss Curtis, and hopefully that they're doing well under extremely difficult circumstances as it is right now.
Absolutely. So, Maryville starts off hot, but Huntington gets things going, and you can just feel the passion in the room from that ball club. As starting off this ball game in the first, Maryville had 25 points in the first quarter, Huntington 23, but in the second, Huntington outscores Maryville 17-9, and they lead 40-34 at the half. As we look at some of the team statistics, Maryville shooting 38% from the field, 37% from the three-point line, 84% from the free throw line. For the Hawks, 44% from the field, 27% from the three-point line, and 78% from the free throw line. And Scott, that's a number that's certainly helping the Hawks tonight. As we mentioned, for the season so far, Huntington around a 54% free throw shooting team. They're shooting 78% tonight. That's got to help Even though the three-pointers aren't falling, they're picking up fouls, and they're getting a lot of points in the paint as they are 44% from the field.
Right, Heath, and as you mentioned, and going into tonight's game anyway, Huntingdon 56% from the field, averaging about 66 points per game. As you mentioned, they're shooting way better tonight. Maryville, a 75% free throw shooting team, they're shooting as well too from the line. The problem is for Maryville right now is they're missing really close shots, and they hit their threes in the first quarter, hence the 25 points, but haven't been able to make a connection on the last 5 shots during the second quarter.
And one of the things you're starting to see, as we mentioned in the pregame show, is the difference in rebounds. As Huntingdon has 21, Maryville at 14, only a 7 rebound difference. However, that has been a struggle for Maryville so far this season. Just really getting on the glass, getting on the boards, and coming away with those rebounds. So Huntingdon doing a good job of that tonight, and leading the way for Huntingdon tonight, Scott, T.I. Duncan. We talk about the free throw shooting. She's been to the line the most for them, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. She's got 14 points for the game. Alex Lowry with 10, Hannah Parks with 5, Shauna Thomas with 4, India Lawrence with 2. India Lawrence, another good player for them. However, she's missed most of the first half because of foul trouble. Peyton Kaiser with 2 points, Destiny Washington with 2, and Katura Billen with 1.
Right, Heath. And for Maryville tonight, a really good start for Libby Gardner, 12 points, 3 of 3 from the free throw line so far, 1 of 2 in 3-pointers. Claire Varney right on her heels with 11 points, 5 of 6 from the free throw line so far. But McCurdy, it looks like Eckenrod, both with 3 points so far. McCurdy 1 of 3, she's putting it up there. And then Eckenrod hit her only 3-point shot as well. Beasley and Waddell both with 2. Shelby Hicks has 1. And so far, Maryville again is putting up a good effort. They're actually doing pretty well. Just Huntingdon right now, as you mentioned, probably a good motivator with the incident that happened this morning, putting their heart right into this game.
Absolutely. So, Scott, we've obviously looked at the statistical breakdown a little bit, but any other takeaways from what you saw in the first half?
Probably from the first game that we were able to see with Maryville, they are definitely playing with a lot more passion, playing harder tonight. Doesn't look like they haven't been here before. They're getting more comfortable playing with each other. The only thing I really see that Huntington's doing is when they notice Maryville's slower post players are in, is when they're really starting to run the court.
Yeah, wearing Maryville down. And, Scott, you talk about, some of the younger players and the adjustments they're making, and from game 1 to now, and I think you're going to continue to see that improvement throughout the season. This team is finding their identity, and you started to see some flashes of that identity to begin this ballgame. A team that's very ferocious defensively, smart with the basketball, gets in the lane, is able to draw the fouls and pick up those fouls to help keep them in ball games with other teams that are really good shooters, have really good players, try to eliminate those players early on, get them out of the ball game. They really did that to start this one. The defense was ferocious. We saw that in game 1, but it didn't last very long. In this game, I think they've been able to be a lot more consistent with it. I really didn't see them kind of let off the gas with that full court press really till about 3 or 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. So, you can tell the endurance is building up for these players. The coach is doing a good job of making, the substitutions, keeping them fresh and trying to get some of these other players in the game. You're going to continue to see that maturation throughout the season. But you mentioned it, and you kind of hit the nail on the head, as Huntingdon has started to figure something out. And what they figured out is, when Maryville's, starting to wear down and they're having some, certain players in the ball game, they're having opportunities on fast breaks or when they get those rebounds, they're not looking, to just start setting up a play. They're looking to get to the basket, and they turn around and they take off. And it has caught Maryville off guard quite a few times, especially in the second quarter, and allowed Huntingdon to get back into this ball game.
Right, Heath. And T.I. Duncan, for example, averaging about 13 points per game so far tonight, already has 14. She's a speedster, and if she sees an open lane, from what we're seeing so far tonight, she is taking it to it. Maryville has been pretty good at being able to get back on her and cutting off part of her lane, but when she sees that opening, and that's where the forwards are coming in to block her off, but then she's dishing that ball out and getting some good assists as well. We saw a couple of times where Maryville would bring in the backside help. Just whoever was supposed to be covering that inside area forgot to do it.
Absolutely. So we'll see what adjustments both teams make here at halftime. We'd like to tell you that your halftime sponsor is Cookout. Make plans to get the best barbecue, burgers, shakes, and more in the area at Cookout at 1305 West Lamar Alexander Parkway. Also remind you that our sponsors tonight that make this all happen: Blunt Partnership, GoTees.com, Cookout, LeConte Wealth Management, Campbell Party Rentals, Kinjo Markets, Airport, Hilton, and Firehouse Subs. Again, thank you to all of those sponsors. We could not do this without you, and thank you to the fans listening to tonight's broadcast here on MCScots.com. I'm Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel. We'll be back in about 6 minutes or so to bring you the third quarter and the second half of play. We'll be right back. welcome back to MCScots.com as we begin the third quarter. Huntingdon leads Maryville 40-34, 6-point lead for the Hawks. As Maryville will start with the basketball to begin the third. Libby Gardner with the ball on the left side of the key. She'll turn and give it over to Varney. Varney down low to Wandell, using the post presence. Wandell goes up, unable to make the basket. Rebounded by Lowry of the Hawks.
Ethan, it looked like Mia Hudson had a piece of that ball right there, really disrupted Waddell's shot.
So now Hudson with the ball. She'll get it over to India Lawrence. Lawrence left the game early because of foul trouble. Now able to get back into the ball game in the second half. We'll see if she can remain in the ball game, as now Maryville with some fouls of their own, as number 30, Erin Beasley, picks up a foul.
Right, Ethan, that's her third.
Oh, wow, her third, team first here in the third quarter. And Wandell now goes to the bench. It looks like she is may have hurt something, as she tells the coach she needs to take a breather real quick and get checked out. So a new player in the game already for the Scots.
Right, that was McCurdy that came in.
Yeah, Brooke McCurdy now in the ball game. As the Hawks with the basketball, and Hudson gets it down low. They'll kick it back out to Lowry. You need to guard her closely. Lowry can shoot. Now we'll see if Hudson can, as she goes up with a three-pointer. No good. Varney with the rebound, and she's going to go quick as they're going to try to push the tempo. Varney up. Varney with the shot and the foul. Nice job. Nice job there. And Scott, Claire Varney does a terrific job there, and you can even hear Coach Trevelyan yelling, go, 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 and she takes off. She's able to, seal off her defender enough to get that basket, and now she just connects on the foul.
Right, it just brought us within 3, and that foul was on Alex Lowry, Heath. That was her first.
So now a 3-point lead for Huntingdon as India Lawrence with the basketball. Lawrence, some great handles. She's going to get it down to T.I. Duncan. Duncan goes up, no good. Need to be careful here. Watch the fouls as they do. But Huntingdon does come up with the basket. That time, that's number 33, Shayonica Thomas, with the 2 points. So now Gardner with the ball for Maryville. She'll cross half court. She's looking for an open player, having some trouble finding one. She'll finally get it over to Eckenrod, who comes to help. Eckenrod hands it off to Beasley. Beasley trying to get around her defender. She'll kick it out to Gardner. Now Gardner with the 3-ball and money.
Beautiful shot, Heath, right there. Beautiful shot.
She's got now a 2-point lead. They're fighting and clawing their way back into this game. And Maryville with the tough full court press defense. It looks like it causes Duncan to draw a walk.
Yes, it's a good play by Maryville. She went up like she was trying to pass the ball. Maryville got their hand on it. She kind of came back down with it before she could get that ball out of her hands.
After recovering the basketball from the stands, Maryville with the ball, and Gardner now gets it to Varney. Varney to drive, she'll kick it back over, almost loses the handle with Beasley, but Beasley recovers, and Scott, we see it again earlier with Varney, now with Beasley, where they see that lane, they start driving, and they see a couple defenders, they try to stop, and they're unable to control themselves, and they get another walk.
Right, Heath, and again, a good example of what Coach Trevelyan was trying to tell them earlier. They had that shot, go up with it.
Yeah. India Lawrence with the ball. She's going to use her speed. Oh, nice little crossover there. But looks like what they're going to say is a push-off from Lawrence on that crossover, so she'll draw the foul. Maryville will now get the ball.
Right, Heath. And that's actually her third foul on that there. So she tried to drive, took her elbow, pushed the defender away from her. Can't do that.
Yeah, so India Lawrence already now out of the ball game, as they've got it. They'll probably need her later on. And now driving to the lane is McCurdy, and McCurdy's able to draw a foul.
Right, she gets that off of Mia Hudson, Heath. So looks like Maryville's going to take it underneath the basket here. And coming into game for Huntingdon is Hannah Parks, taking the place of Mia Hudson.
So now they'll get the ball in, and Varney pump fakes. She drives, loses her balance. She slips, and it'll unfortunately be a turnover, and the Hawks now will get the ball. Looks like it might have been an
unfortunate play there.
Yeah, looks like a little bit slippery area over there as Eckenrod fell kind of awkwardly, and she's not too happy about it either. And hopefully she's okay. You can tell she kind of hobbled for a minute there, but hopefully it's nothing serious. Heavily guarded there as they get the ball in on that press, but a little too much defense by Eckenrod, and she'll pick up a foul.
Right, she got a block on that one. Hey, it looks like she's still struggling a little bit, though. I think that hurt her more what she's letting on.
Yeah, they're going to get her out of the game for a minute, and they're going to bring in Charity Crabtree into the ball game. Destiny Washington with the ball. She'll get it over to T.I. Duncan. Duncan looking to hand it off to Parks. Parks will get it. Parks will make the basket. Back to a 4-point lead. Gardner crosses court, and now she's guarded by Washington. She'll hand it off to Varney. Varney's guarded by Duncan at the top. Varney's going to drive, use the speed, but what a block by Hannah Parks, who gets the basketball. She's looking down the court, hands it off to Duncan. Duncan hands it off. Man, what a great job of movement there by the Hawks, as I believe that was Washington who comes up with the basket. It's now a 6-point lead for the Hawks.
Yeah, just when we were bringing it back in, and just Hawks have used a lot of speed, making Maryville run the court with them.
And a better job defensively there as they try to close the lane and force them to move the ball. They do move the ball, however, looks like they were able to pick up the foul.
Right, that was on McCurdy. Or they're going to give that right to 23, that is McCurdy.
Sorry, thank you.
So Lowry inbounds it. She'll get it up top to Parks. Parks will get it over to Washington, and Washington calls the set. She's going to get it over to Duncan on the left side of the key. Washington will set a pick for her. She's going to dribble. She's going to drive. She'll go up, and just another foul not needed there as Upshaw picks up the foul.
Right, Heath, and again, looked like T.I. Duncan on that. Just a good drive. She knows how to be able to get Maryville to react to her. Maryville's not getting their feet moved fast enough to set and get in front of her.
Well, and one of the things she's doing well is she kind of leans out a little bit when she kind of hooks up that shot, and when she leans out, it almost is like the defender thinks they have to lean in, and when they lean in, obviously, instead of going straight up, she's going to draw the foul. So now the second free throw up and good, and it's an 8-point lead. Might be an opportunity here in a minute, Scott, to potentially think about a timeout and just kind of settling back down and saying, hey, you started off this second half great. Or just, you know, when they start, you know, getting some momentum, don't let it bother you. Just stay calm, keep your composure, and just make smart plays. Do what you do. Play good defense and force them to make the mistake first. As Gardner with the ball, and Gardner's going to drive. Gardner's going to try to pick it up, but a block by Parks. And they're going to say it went off Maryville last, and the Hawks with the basketball. Again, Scott, here we go. Momentum all the way in the Hawks' favor.
Right. And that ball actually went off Crabtree. She made a good effort, just could not corral the ball as it went off her fingertips.
And here's that tough defense. Washington able to get around it. And as she does, she's able to pass it off to number 33, Shaonika Thomas. Thomas goes up. The basket's good, and now a 10-point lead.
Right, Heath, and they're setting two offensive players down on the post, letting T.I. Duncan drive the ball, making Maryville basically chase her. But at that point, the defenders are having to pull in on Duncan. When they do, she's got to pass to either player right there underneath. Easy layup at that point.
Yeah, and great coaching by Huff, who's calling some good plays here and getting her players in the best positions for success. And it's obviously causing the defense some trouble as they're trying to keep this press going. But when they do and when they're able to split it, then you run into that.
Right.
So a 10-point lead, a lead that was once trimmed to 2 moments ago, has now blown back out to 10 with 5:46 remaining in the third. Still plenty of time here in the second half to change things and take back over this ball game. It's a matter of keeping their players calm and composed and not letting these things get to them. As you saw a minute ago, as we talked about, Scott, looking for a potential timeout. Trevelyan takes one, kind of talks to his players, tries to kind of get them back and get them focused. Varney with the ball at the top. She'll look, a nice crossover move and a nice handoff there. Just unable to make the shot as Crabtree, as she had 2 points pretty easily. She's just not able to get it. And then here comes Huntingdon, and they have trouble with 2 points, but they rebound instead. They come up, make the basket, get the foul.
Right, Heath, and again, the same thing that we were talking about. They're getting post players under there, drawing the defender to the ball handler and dishing it off.
And they actually did not make the basket, correction from a moment ago, but she does draw the foul, so she'll go to the line for 2. And now entering the game, back in the game for the Scots. Looks like Eckenrod is back in the ball game and Hicks as well.
Right, Heath, and Crabtree and McCurdy and Upshaw both came out on that one.
I believe Beasley came back in as well for Maryville. So now a 13-point lead for Huntingdon. And Eckenrod gets it over to Gardner. Gardner out to Varney. Varney tries to look at the pick. She'll fake going off the pick, and she'll go up for the shot. She'll draw the foul on Washington.
Right, Hayes.
The foul is on Huntingdon, number 15, Destiny Washington, her second.
And that is her second foul as Varney goes to the line.
And Varney's first shot up and good. Second free throw up, second free throw good. So a 11-point lead for the Hawks. And they get Lowry open for a three. She goes up and misses. And that's not something you're going to see often, as Lowry can shoot. But they still get another rebound. They kick it out to Parks, and there's Parks with the three ball.
Yes, it's good ball movement for the Hawks there. Maryville just not able to corral the rebound. And from looking at the information earlier, Maryville still just not a good rebounding team right now. Not about 29 a game, I believe is what I saw earlier.
Yeah, struggling there, and Huntington getting the basketball. So a 14-point lead, 4:24 remaining in the third quarter. Washington with the basketball for the Hawks. She'll get it over to Lowry. Lowry up top to Parks, and now Parks will hand it to Duncan. Duncan's going to get it down low, and they do a great job of kicking it back out. They had an open three, but Maryville gets to it quickly. Good defense. And there's some good defense as well, as they try to do what they've been doing successful all game, is hand that ball off when they draw the defender, but this time it tips off Maryville, then tips off Huntington. Maryville gets the ball. So Gardner with the basketball. She'll cross half court. And Maryville looking to get a basket and get some momentum going as they get a nice handoff to Hicks. Hicks goes up. Hicks draws the foul.
Right, Heath, and it looks like they got Duncan on that. She came across the back of her. A good block, but she got body.
Yeah, it was a great block, but you're absolutely right. She did get the body, so Hicks is going to be able to go to the line. We'll see if Hicks is able to cut into this deficit as she does there. First basket up, first free throw is good.
And that is actually Duncan's third foul of the game as well.
Second free throw up and good as well for Hicks. 12-point lead for the Hawks. Tough call there and a tough break for Maryville, as they're going to call that as Varney. Looked like some close defense that T.I. Duncan just was able to get around, but I don't know if there was a reach in or what, but they're going to call that.
Right, it looks like they're saying that she kind of put her hands out, kind of held her from being able to move.
Gotcha. So now that's going to send Duncan to the line with an opportunity to extend back out that lead. She's going to miss the first free throw.
Right, and this is about what we need out of Duncan right now is her 53% free throw shooting.
Second free throw up and good. Eckenrod quickly inbounds to Gardner. She's going to get it up top to Eckenrod. She'll get it over to Varney. Varney with a nice pick there by Hicks. So Varney will take the drive, layup up, and good.
Good play right there, good play.
So back to an 11-point deficit. And we'll see if Maryville can turn up the defense here. Continue to cut into this lead as Lowry is going to kick it over to Duncan. Duncan's going to look down low to Parks, but she's guarded very, very well by Varney. But man, Scott, just the play calls here so far from the Hawks are just brilliant as they do another kind of dribble drive handoff and get 2 points.
Right. I don't think Peyton Manning could have made a better handoff than that one.
Eckenrod goes up with the up and under, and she'll miss. Hawks get it back. They quickly get down the court, and going up with a shot and drawing the foul is Duncan. That foul is going to be on Varney. And Varney's probably going to have to go to the bench in a minute. Not sure where she's at foul-wise, but she's getting awfully close. Yeah.
Right, Heath, and that's her third right there.
Yeah, so she's going to be out in just a minute, as it looks like number 11, Holland Geralds, and number 23, Brooke McCurdy, will be coming into the ball game as Varney and Hicks will exit. Second free throw up and good. And number 1 now enters the game for the Hawks.
Right, Heath, and out goes Shanika Thomas.
14-point lead. Soon as the Scots start to cut into this, the Hawks just get things going again and break it back open. Beasley almost with a walk there, very close. Holland Gerald's nice post move, unable to make the basket, but they tip it back out. McCurdy for 3, no good. And they battle to get the rebound, but it goes out of bounds. They're going to say the Hawks touched it last. So Maryville with the ball. 2:26 here in the third. 60-46 Huntingdon. Beasley needs to get it in quick as that 5-second clock's counting down. She will. She'll get it to Eckenrod. Eckenrod back to Beasley. Beasley up. Completely misses the backboard. Looks like she was trying to get it off glass, but threw it up way too high and just kind of up and a rainbow over. And now Huntingdon was able to get the ball as they are going to inbound. Looks like it may have hit off Maryville, went out of bounds. So Huntingdon with the ball and all the momentum. Washington will get it. She'll cross half court. Bernard almost lost it there, but she'll get it over to T.I. Duncan. Duncan, who's been driving all game with success, but good defense by McCurdy forces her to kick it back out. Washington on the left side of the wing. A good pick by Parks. She's kicking it over to Lowry. Watch the 3 ball here. It goes up, but a great block. And Maryville with the ball. You need to watch out as Lowry was coming to try to pickpocket her, but they were able to get the pass off. And Gardner goes up. Gardner draws the foul.
Yes, Heath, and a good play right there on her using her body to shield the ball as they get number 15 on that one. That's Destiny Washington. And that is actually her 3rd foul as well, Heath. So we're getting some fouls on her.
First free throw up and good for Gardner.
And 25 will come in, Heath, replacing Washington. That'll be Cassidy Crawford.
Second free throw up and good. Bernard with the basketball. She'll turn, she'll fire it over to Duncan. Duncan gets it over to Crabtree. Excuse me, that's Crawford with the ball. Crawford to Lowry. Now over to Duncan. Crawford drives to the lane. They try to get it quickly to her. And just a tough pass will go out of bounds. And Maryville with the ball. And this is what the Scots need. Mistakes. Force them to make mistakes and start chipping away at this lead and get the momentum going again in your favor. As a minute 17 remain in the third, it is a 12-point ball game.
Right, still a lot of time left. You still have another quarter. And as you said, just kind of chip away at this.
Oh, and a nice spin move by Beasley as she goes up with the basket. She doesn't make the basket, but she does get the foul.
Right, Heath, and she gets that on number 23. That is Alexis Lowry, and that'll be her 2nd foul. But definitely a very good move, at least able to draw the foul.
Beasley up and good with the first shot. Currently looks like no substitutions from either bench will be coming in right now. Second free throw up, no good. And the Hawks with the rebound. But the lead now at 11. Duncan, she'll kick it over to Lowry. Lowry drives. And what
good
a
block.
block.
Good block there.
Yeah, Lowry didn't even get it out of her hands yet for the shot. And she just, Gerald just comes right over the top and knocks it out of her hands and knocks it out of bounds. So the Hawks now will get it back. Lowry with the ball on the right side of the key. She's going to hand it over to Crawford. Crawford up with the basket. In and out. And Maryville with the ball.
A good chance here to get it under double digits at this time.
Absolutely. Eckenrod with the ball. She'll get it over to Gardner. Gardner, nice crossover move, but she drives. There's some defense. She has to get it back outside. She's going to shoot the 3. She's going to make the 3.
Great time for that shot as well. That's what she's been trying to get that touchback again, and looks like she's found it.
This is what you need. 8-point deficit now as Crawford tries to fake out Gardner. She's not going to do so. There's 10 seconds on the clock here in the third. Shot clock is off. Now we're at 6. Now we're at 5. Duncan drives, kicks it out to Crawford. Crawford heavily guarded. She's going to have to throw up a prayer. No good. Rebounded by Maryville. And that's how you end the third quarter, Scott.
Great job right there for Maryville. And Huntingdon getting that lead, being able to fight back, not giving up and just basically tanking the third quarter and fighting back. Got it within 8 now. Got plenty of time, 10 minutes to go. 8 points, easy to overcome.
Absolutely, just like we said a minute ago, this is a game that, you know, there's been some swings going both ways of momentum, but, you know, and it looked like Huntingdon was really starting to get all of it. But Maryville settles back in. They do what they do best, and that's defense. And they start to make some smart plays, moving the basketball, finding the open man, making the quality shot. And now you see they're back to only being down by 8. So we'll start the fourth quarter here in just a moment on mcscots.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Fourth quarter here on mcscots.com is now underway as Wandell and Varney back in the game for Maryville. Try a play there of trying Varney to get around the defense and throwing it to her under the basket. She's unable to come down with it, so the Hawks will get the ball. They'll kick it over to Duncan. Duncan's going to look to dribble and drive. She does there, and I bet they're going to call a foul on Gardner.
They are. Heath looks like she got her with the hand check. Luckily, she did it before she shot, though.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's her second. That's the team's first here in the fourth. If you're just joining us later in this ball game, this is a game that Huntingdon looked like they were really starting to pull away with in the third, but Maryville kind of really clawed their way back into it, only now down 8 points. They'll get it out to Lowry. Lowry with the three, and man, she is lethal as she makes that shot.
Yes, she is, and you can't just leave her sitting out there by herself.
No, she's not someone you ever want to leave open, as now the score is back to 11. Wandell with the ball down low. She'll go up with the shot. She won't get it, but she'll get her own rebound. She'll get it out to the three-point line. And a miss there by the Scots. Lowry with the rebound, and Lowry for the Hawks pick gets the foul off of Maryville. No, and they're actually going to say Lowry with the foul. I thought that was one of the Scots with the foul. So no, it was Lowry with the foul. So Maryville will get the ball, and that's nice. That's what they need. Hopefully he can get something going. Varney with the three ball. Can she answer? No. Rebounded by Huntingdon.
And Heath, Peyton Concert came in just a second ago when we had that brief pause.
Oh. Nice tight defense by Gardner, heavily guarding number 1, Abiba Bernard, but they're going to say that Gardner's too close. She'll pick up another foul. I believe that is her third.
Right, and Gardner definitely controlling herself because I don't think she quite agreed with that call.
Yeah, I don't think many of us did, but that's okay. They've been calling a great game so far and really keeping these players in check as a basket up and missed by Kaiser. Hawks come down with the rebound. However, Hawks commit a foul. And so Maryville will get the ball. Eckenrod to inbound.
And that was Shanika Thomas on that. That's her second foul. Underneath, she was pushing off, and referees caught it. And as you said, they've done a really great job tonight.
Varney up with the shot. She'll miss, but she'll get the rebound. She'll get it inside to Eckenrod. Eckenrod back out to Varney. Varney for three. And she's battling. She tried to get her own rebound again, but Duncan comes down with it. Here comes that fast break that they do so well. And Duncan hands it off, and the basket is good by number 1, Abiba Bernard.
Right, and that's something Maryville's got to stop because they're knowing how to place their players, getting someone to basically challenge the ball handler, and they've got open post players out there.
Eckenrod will get it over to Gardner. Gardner quickly to Varney. Wandell trying to get open down low. Not a good pass there as Wandell's unable to come down with it, and it'll turn over the ball. Hawks now with it, and Kaiser at the top. She'll set the play. Kicks it over to Bernard. Bernard with a nice pick by Thomas. Now she's going to get it over to Duncan. 10 seconds in the shot clock. And throws it into some traffic. Somehow they're still able to maintain and hold on to the basketball. They're going to get it back to Thomas, and Thomas with another basket. What was once an 8-point lead, Scott, is now a 15-point lead for Huntingdon.
Right, and they came out, scored quick 7 points, and Maryville's just not been able to find an answer for it.
Varney kicks it over to Wandell. Wandell up, misses, no good, gets it again, goes up again, and that's great defense.
Yes, it is. And it looks like they're going to call Eckenrod on that one.
Lowry back in the game for Huntingdon, and back in the game for Maryville is Hicks.
Well, one good thing for Maryville right now is Duncan's gone to the bench, so that'll slow down some speed anyway.
Good opportunity here. As Bernard with the basketball. She'll get it across half court for the Hawks. There to pick her up is Gardner. They're going to get it over to Lowry, and here comes that 3-ball again, and goodness. Might as well start calling her Curry the way she's splashing those threes.
Yes, Ethan. Looks like Maryville has called timeout here. Going to talk it over, try to regroup a little bit.
Yeah, good timeout to kind of settle the team back down as an 18-point lead for the Hawks. 6:36 remaining in the fourth quarter. Maryville's got quite a hole to dig out of. Hopefully they can do it. You're listening to MCScots.com. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back. You're listening to MCScots.com. I'm Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel, bringing you tonight's game here at Maryville College. 6:36 remaining in the fourth. 70-52 Huntingdon leads. Third quarter started off with Huntingdon leading by 8. Maryville had really chipped away at this, and then Huntingdon got on a hot streak again, so now they lead by 18. And Maryville gets the ball down to Varney. Varney unable to make the basket. Gets to Eckenrod, now to Gardner. Gardner with a pick. She'll get it over to Varney. Varney trying to find something. She goes up, and I think she's going to pick up, able to get a foul, and she's going to get a foul on number 14 of Huntingdon.
Right, Heath. That is on Peyton Kaiser. That'll be her first foul.
Team second foul, and that's going to send Varney to the line. She makes the first. Second free throw, no good, but rebounded by Maryville.
Good
Eckenrod with
right
it.
there.
And Eckenrod drives, and before she can come up with it, I believe she was able to get a foul as well.
And Heath, again, they got Kaiser on that. That is her second foul.
And for the Scots, Catherine Upshaw entering the game.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, Maryville inbounds, Eckenrod up and good with 2 points. So now they're going to get it over to Lowry again. Got to watch out. She can shoot it. So can Parks, who gets it. She'll shoot it. Nope, she'll give it to Kaiser, who shoots it. And, man, the 3-ball is falling for the Hawks.
Yes, Heath, and that's hard to stop sometimes.
Yeah, a team like that shooting this well. This is a team that came into tonight's game shooting 27% from behind the arc. Eckenrod answers with a 3 of her own.
That definitely is needed. Just need to be hitting a couple more and stopping them from hitting theirs.
And as I mentioned, Scott, a team that's shooting 27% from behind the arc this season is shooting 36% tonight.
Good steal right there.
Varney with the ball. She's looking at Hicks. She'll keep it herself. She'll go up. She's good, and the foul.
Excellent move, taking it, driving it all the way down, and getting the and one here.
And a great job, too, by Varney, kind of keeping her eyes going back and forth to Hicks, which causes the defender to kind of keep an eye to her left as well. And in doing so, holds the defender off just enough and gives just enough space for Varney to come up and make that basket.
And Heath, that foul was on Hannah Parks. That's her first foul of the game.
Varney up with the shot. She'll miss the free throw. Here comes Washington, and here comes that speed of Huntingdon trying to get into the lane, but she'll turn it over. Looks like she tried to get the ball to number 33, Shanika Thomas. Thomas wasn't looking. Eckenrod was, and Eckenrod comes away with the steal. A nice move, a nice shot, and you can count it.
Right, and Coach Huff calls timeout on this one. She's not liking what she's seeing out of her players right now.
Yeah, not happy with the last few minutes of play here as Huff will take the timeout. We'll take one with them. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, mcscots.com, and we've got 4:47 remaining here in the fourth quarter as Huntingdon leads by 11. It was an 18-point lead a minute ago. Maryville has chiseled away at it again as they've been clawing back into this game throughout the second half, and as they do, you see Huntingdon pull away, they climb back in, but this time, Scott, it looks a little different as Maryville looks to have really settled in and locked in on what they need to do to be successful here in the fourth quarter. As Gardner does a great job there getting the ball, drives down the court, misses, and unfortunately unable to get the rebound is Hicks. Here comes the Hawks. They're going to kick it out to Parks. Here comes Lowry. Watch out for Lowry. She can shoot the three ball as Upshaw is now guarding her, forcing her to pass. She does. She'll get the ball back, though. We've got about 11 seconds left in the shot clock. They get it down low, and the jumper up. No good. Rebounded by Varney.
Varney has really come out and played this fourth quarter, Hayes. She has been involved in just about everything.
Absolutely. She's got 23 points for the game. Varney gets it over to Eckenrod. Eckenrod, ooh, a nice behind the back dribble there. She goes up, and she just misses the layup.
Right, two in a row, though, that she looks like instead of just an easy layup, she's trying to force it a little bit.
And that's not good as Parks just makes a three-pointer and gets it back out. So now we're at a 14-point game, and Coach Trevelyan trying to tell his team, hey, speed up the pace. We need to get across court quickly because we don't have a lot of time. Varney shoots the jumper. No good. Almost rebounded by Hicks. Let's see if she unable to maintain it. It was out of bounds, and so now Huntingdon with the ball.
And Heath, in comes number 30 for Maryville. That is Erin Beasley. Also coming back in the game is Holland Gerald.
It looks like coming in for Huntingdon, number 15, Destiny Washington, and number 22, Maya Hudson. Hawks lead by 14, 3:04 remaining. Here comes Lowry. She gets it over to the right side of the key. She'll get it to Hudson. Hudson to Parks. And the shot is up. The shot is good. And they're just finding the advantage. They're finding the player with the best advantage, Scott, and they're getting them the basketball. They do it there, and Parks makes a nice shot. Eckenrod goes in. She stops, looks to spin around and fake the defender. They're going to say she walked, though.
Right.
And now Huntingdon with the ball.
And that's just the thing. You got to be careful with that pivot foot. You bring that pivot foot up, they're going to catch you.
16-point lead again for Huntingdon. As we mentioned, this has kind of been the story of the second half. Maryville started to climb in. Huntington's pulled away. Maryville's climbed in. Huntington's pulled away. And unfortunately, we're seeing it happen again as Alex Lowry for the Hawks is able to get Maryville to foul.
Right. Varney saw her kind of turn around, didn't have her attention to Varney. Varney reached, but when she did, she caught her on the wrist. The referee caught it.
Lowry for three. She is just almost automatic from the three-point line.
Yeah, she is a very good shooter.
The basket up, no good. And Varney with the ball, she'll kick it out. Beasley for three, no good. Rebounded by Geralds. Geralds with a nice move, but she will miss the basket.
And wait and see who they called this on. They're going to call it on number 30 for Maryville on Beasley, but to be honest with you, I thought Gerald pretty much tackled the girl down there.
Yeah, it looks like Gerald just kind of slipped and fell onto the offensive player, but she's not going to get the foul. They're going to give it to Beasley. So now Washington will get to go to the line. First free throw up, and no good.
And Heath coming back in as McCurdy. She is going to replace Beasley.
Free throw up, free throw good for Washington. Now a 20-point lead for Huntingdon. Kick it over to Eckenrod. Eckenrod for three and good.
She has had a really good game on that.
Yeah, Eckenrod's played well. Her and Varney are two really solid players, both only sophomores. As Eckenrod now, I believe that will give her 8 points for the night. Varney with 23. Gardner also having a good night. Gardner with 20.
That is definitely a good night.
Here comes Duncan, who goes up. She'll miss. Rebounded by McCurdy. McCurdy will get it to Varney. Varney's going to have to quickly get it down the court as they're down 17. Here comes Varney. Up, no good. Rebounded by Parks. Parks kicks it over to Washington. Almost loses the handle, but she'll maintain. She'll go behind the back and hold on to the basketball. She'll get it over to Duncan. Duncan now to Lowry. Coach is telling him slow things down. Only a minute left in this ball game as they just look to run out the rest of this clock. Hudson with the ball. Hudson kicks. Lowry with the jumper. No good, but rebounded by Hudson. Hudson up. No good. Rebounded by the Scots. Gardner with the ball, and Coach Trevelyan will take a timeout.
Right, Heath. Looks like we're fixing to have a lot of wholesale subs here. Crabtree's coming in. Also, Beasley.
Looks like
Waddell. Yes, Waddell's back in. And Upshaw. And I know I'm missing one, but I can't see her through the touch right now.
So Hicks will get it over to Beasley. Hicks with a pick. Beasley with a spin move. Beasley will try to pass it over to Wandell, but looks like it hits the Hawk player, who will bounce off her, and it'll go out of bounds. So now Beasley to inbound.
Right,
10 seconds on the shot clock. Yep. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 31 seconds left on the game clock. Beasley to inbound, trying to find an open player. Will have to do it quickly and just misses Upshaw. It'll roll out of bounds. And they're going to say that one of the Hawks players touched it, so Maryville will remain with the basketball.
Well, 9 seconds left on the shot clock as well, Heath.
Upshaw with the ball. She looks up at the clock, sees what she's got going on. She's going to shoot a three. Miss.
Quick shot. I think she was just trying to get something up because she saw the shot clock running down, but
yeah,
probably really not a good shot on that one.
Yeah, unfortunately for Upshaw, not the best shot selection there, but yeah, definitely saw that clock tick in and kind of in her head probably rushed it just a little bit. So 19 seconds remain. Maryville, unfortunately, is going to move to 0-5 for the season. Huntingdon will move to 5-1. They'll go 1-0 to start conference play. 8 seconds remain. Duncan with the ball and just kind of dribbling out the clock. And an emotional win, Scott, for Huntingdon after the loss of Kedra Curtis earlier today.
Right, Heath, and you could definitely tell that the Hawks came in here, really wanting to win one for her. Obviously it helps their record as well, but the fact that they wanted to win one for the Curtis family, and they played a very inspired, very outstanding game tonight.
So now we'll bring in Coach Trevelyan here at the end of this ball game. Coach, thanks for joining us here on the post-game show. Tough loss tonight, but yeah, you look at the first game of the season to now, and definitely it looks like the defense has really turned it up a notch. Your thoughts so far?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we can't string together 2 stops in a row. And we don't have anybody who's willing to just say, I will stop this dribble from getting to the front of the rim. But that kid, if she's here, she hasn't shown up yet. I'd love to see her. And whenever she's in, she'll start and play 40 minutes. Offensively, multiple times we get it to a manageable margin, and then we take some really, really ill-advised shots. We try to make things happen 1-on-3, 1-on-4, and throw things up, and just, that's growing pains. That's where we are right now, and that's part of the process. And we'll just keep digging. We got to play tomorrow. Can't dwell on this.
Yeah, it looked like the full court press, early on really was causing some havoc for the Hawks. They started to really try to get around that and put a post player down low and make Maryville decide who to guard.
Right.
How do you stop that moving forward?
Well, you got the press is great when you stop the ball, but when you don't stop the ball, all of a sudden it turns into a numbered break, and it's 3-on-2, and you've got typically a guard in front of the rim against a post player, exactly what you're talking about. So, the way you stop that is the ball can't get past half court and get them into a mismatch situation. But that also goes back to our ball pressure and lack thereof.
And, Coach, Clara Varney, another solid night for her, 23 points, Gardner with 20, and an Eckenrod with 11. Talk a little bit about your sophomore and Varney, again, with a good night shooting the basketball.
Yeah, I mean, Claire can score in a variety of ways. I think she'd be the first to tell you she had some other opportunities, to finish some plays and make a few more shots and do some things. And but, yeah, no, she can make some shots, make some plays. Libby hit some jumpers today. And Elsa got going kind of late. The offensive end isn't the problem. I mean, offense isn't the problem. The problem is we don't stop the other team from winning the ball through the net. We could have played 10 more possessions and scored, but you've got to stop them 3 of those 10 at least, and that's not happening right now for us.
So would you say that's probably the biggest adjustments you make as you move into the game tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround to try to make a big adjustment like that. But no, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not even an adjustment; it's an emphasis and it's a willingness, and just looking for it, man. We're just trying to find it.
Coach, we certainly hope you do, and we wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Thank you.
And that was Coach Trevelyan here on the post-game show. Your final score, Maryville falls to Huntingdon 82-65. And Scott, as we said a few minutes ago, and even as Coach Trevelyan said, he's got to find some players who are willing to do the scrappy things and really turn it up a notch defensively and not allow them to continue to have those successful passes in the paint.
Right, Heath. And, again, it's something we talked about as well, was the rebounding. Maryville is still getting out-rebounded. They're just not getting someone fighting for that ball and wanting to get in there. As you talked with the coach, Varney had a really good night tonight, so did Gardner. But you still got to be able to hit some shots and quit just taking wild things. A lot of things were open and down low that Maryville could have scored. Huntingdon hit them. Maryville was all over the place with them.
Absolutely, and just some things not falling their way on the offensive side of the glass. But hopefully they're able to make a few of those adjustments, and we'll see if they can get in the win column tomorrow, as tomorrow they will be at home to start the month of December, as they will host LaGrange College at 3 p.m. and you will be able to listen to that ball game here on mcscots.com. This post-game segment was sponsored by GoTees.com, your one-stop shop shopping for T-shirts and so much more. Quick turnaround with the highest quality in mind. Go to GoTees.com or call 1-800-360-1965. So again, thank you GoTees.com for the post-game show sponsorship, and we'd also like to thank our other sponsors as well for the ball game: Blunt Partnership, Cookout, Kant Wealth Management, Campbell Parney Rentals, Kinjo Markets, Airport Hilton, and Firehouse Subs. Again, thank you for listening to MCScots.com. I'm Heath Dunkel alongside Scott Dunkel. Your final score here at Maryville College: Huntingdon 82, Maryville 65. Until next time, so long, good night, and yes, that just happened.